I'm Nick Byer, welcome to Pocket for Wednesday, the 20th of April. Today on the show, Neo, sick COD plays, and WoW time. Wait, it's the 20th? I threw out good milk! Ugh. Alright, here's what's been making headlines. The PS 4.5 is looking more and more likely as multiple sources have now confirmed its existence and some juicy new specs. The console, codenamed Neo, is said to feature a higher clock speed, an improved GPU, higher memory bandwidth, and support for 4K TVs. According to these sources, Sony will not divide its customer base by releasing Neo-only games. Instead, all PS4 games released after October must ship with a base mode for the OG PS4 and a more graphically intense Neo mode, for those Johnny-come-latelys who get better things than the rest of us. Everyone's favorite flat-top flaunting fighter is finally making his way to Street Fighter V. Street Fighter All-Star Guile will be available as a free download later this month for a limited time, along with his new Air Force base stage, which will cost 70,000 in-game credits. Season Pass holders will receive the new stage and an alternative Guile costume for free. The current Overwatch closed beta will be closing on the 25th of April, a mere 2 days after my birthday. But players will have one more chance to try the game early between the 5th and 9th of May. Blizzard have said they're using the time between betas to make the game more stable, and any larger changes flagged will be available post-launch. Anyone who pre-orders the game before the 29th of April will receive early access to the open beta on the 3rd of May. Supergiant Games, the creators of critically acclaimed titles Bastion and Transistor, have announced a new game. Pyre will be a party-based RPG featuring the rich atmospheric presentation and storytelling that Supergiant have become well known for. The game will be available on PS4 and PC in 2017. And keeping with the announcements, a whole lot of release dates have been revealed. Gangster Simulator Mafia 3 will be available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 7th of October. Insomniac's underwater Metroidvania Song of the Deep will release on the 12th of July, and Hearthstone's latest expansion, Whispers of the Old Gods, is officially coming on the 26th of April. Yes! And on that good news, it's Thing of the Day. Call of Duty pro Jared Nagafen-Harrell proved why he's amongst the world's top players with an astounding clutch play where he's more squirrel than man. As the sole survivor on his team, Nagafen deftly traversed the treetops to get in behind the enemy lines and defuse the bomb as one of the 3 remaining enemies stood by unaware.
Bomb defused.
That is hands down the greatest Call of Duty play I have ever seen.
That person has massive balls.
Huge COD
Gigantic.
balls. And speaking of giant balls, I'm here with Stephen Barjo O'Donnell. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here on this day
Excellent.
with you to talk about whatever it is coming up.
What a great segue, because whatever it is that's coming up is the talk through, where you suggest a topic and we talk through it. Today's topic comes in from Lewis Ingram, who says, with the release of the new WoW expansion coming, and this is why we brought you, do you think we will see another gigantic MMO like it again? We've had attempts like Elder Scrolls and Guild Wars, but nothing like the impact WoW has had on the online community. Do you think its initial success and domination was due to it emerging at the same time as the internet became a regular household item? Also, how long will it last?
WoW was of its time.
Yes.
And is of its time.
Yeah, and I kind of missed that time a little bit, but I do feel like we are certainly in the swan song of WoW. We are in the fading years, the golden girls.
Yeah, WoW's great.
Yeah.
It's still fun. It's still amazing. It's evolved over the years, but I don't think we will see something as impactful as WoW again. Because it was kind of like the granddaddy of all MMOs, right? It just cornered this market with ideas that have been kind of expanded upon and evolved in other ways from other developers, but no one's hit that kind of carrot on a stick thing the way that WoW did at its time. So we all went through this kind of, this I want to say hazing process. This kind of, like, what is this new thing where it like pulled us in and destroyed all our lives? And now when we see games like that, like, that's going to destroy my life. I might play for a bit, but I don't need to have like a part of my life destroyed that I don't really care about very much.
It's kind of like when games like League of Legends or something pop up, you go, trigger warning. Like, I know this thing. No, back up.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. My hand hurts.
But obviously, WoW wasn't the first MMO. So we had Neverwinter Nights in 1991. We had Ultima Online in 97. Lots of people were making different MMOs, and they were successful in different ways. But Blizzard's want is to kind of take something and just take all the great parts and make it better.
Yeah, they went big.
What do you think the appeal was? Why did we get sucked in?
Well, there are a lot of reasons. The thing that sucked me in personally was that this world felt like something to explore. You know, so you'd log into WoW, you'd see other people roaming about, and for a start, that was like, wow, there's a lot of people in this world. But then
That's why they called it WoW.
That's why they called it WoW. Yeah. And then it's I see this like dark forest. Like, screw it, I'm gonna walk up there and see what's there.
And you could go into the dark forest.
Yeah. And you would die instantly because there are level 50 wolves there, and I'm level 2. But I love that it was this big, mysterious world, and it was truly big. You had to walk everywhere for so long, and then even unlocking those little flight paths would take ages. You had to earn it, you know? And it just felt like you were on the start of a big adventure, and you had no idea what was going to be there. The mystery of it.
I do feel like, I totally agree. I mean, that to me is why I played so much WoW, why it was so successful. And I still feel like today, when I haven't played it in maybe a year, I guess, since the last expansion. And but when I do go back in, I do feel like I'm entering a world. And I think that I've played a heap of MMOs since WoW, and you have as well. So things like WildStar, Star Wars, Guild Wars, all the wars. And but I feel like every one of those games, it still feels to me like I'm kind of playing a video game world that has a border. The closest I think I've gotten to is a game that I don't really know how to play, but it's Eve. Because I do feel like Eve feels like a total ecosystem, and that's why WoW is successful. Because it has crafting and the questing and the story and everything works together in a way that feels like an operating universe. And Eve came out before WoW and could potentially go on until the end of time.
It could, but there are a lot of people working on WoW now that are very smart, that are still updating this game and making it really fun. Like, I played through every expansion. Yeah. I think I skipped Lich King, but I've played through all the recent ones and had a brilliant time.
And
like,
you're gonna play
I would play
Legion.
one tomorrow, and I will play this one when it comes out, but I'll probably stop at the cap because they pulled out some of the things that kept me in the game, which is a good thing that they pulled it out because it was destroying my life. But all that kind of PvP stuff where you had to like play every day 6 hours, all that kind of really hardcore stuff, that's gone, thankfully. Now you can kind of just accrue honor over time for murdering people.
And then I guess the other part of it is that, you know, it's had 11 million subscribers. And so that's people paying money each month. Do you think that this business model is also just kind of gone now, that when we've moved into more free-to-play?
Yeah, when I pick up a new MMO and I see a subscription fee, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it feels really weird, doesn't it?
What is this?
Yeah, even though it's like, what is this? Because my WoW subscription is still active and I haven't played it a year.
And that's WoW, what's this? I don't want to pay $14 USD a month.
Yeah, USD. And who knows how much money that actually is?
Could be $1 million.
It changes like every day,
Could
guys.
be 5.
Yeah.
That model has gone, I think, now. Like, I think Guild Wars was one of the first kind of big MMOs which said, okay, you don't have to pay every month, it's fine. And also, you can't pay to win. We're just doing cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
The game costs $80, buy it, worth it, great.
Yeah.
You know, like, that really worked. Like, I was really happy with that model, and I think everyone who's tried to do a monthly payment system since then has got, like, bad press, and it's not really worked very well, and people feel weird playing it. And then, after about a year, it's like, it's gonna be free to play anyway, guys, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I loved playing WildStar, and I think I may have been the only person who loved it.
I loved it.
Okay,
I regret
yeah.
not spending more time with it.
Yeah, and then I sort of gave it up for a while, and then it went to free to play, and I was like, oh right, yeah, okay. And I thought maybe I'll jump back in and play it, and I just didn't because I don't have the time. Which brings me to oh no, you go play.
Well, I was just gonna say, sometimes when these MMOs go free to play, it's like the best thing for it, like the Old Republic.
You went back to Old Republic when it went free to play, didn't you?
Yeah. Although I think it did have to pay for the expansion. But that aside, like when that game went free to play, it started making like millions and millions and millions. I think one year it made like $114 million in just that 1 year. It's like one of the top earners of MMOs. And I'm like, why? What are people buying in this?
Yeah.
Speeder bikes? Don't quote me on that figure, but I'm 80% sure it's right.
Are you sure about the 80%?
I'm 10% sure of that.
Cool. So then that brings us around to the final point that I wanted to make, which is what has replaced WoW for you? Because when I stopped playing it, I realized I need something else to fill this gap, which was like there were other games, and then padded between them was just WoW time. Time has replaced
Time has
it.
replaced WoW. I never
Right.
have time.
Oh, so you just do things.
I just do other things.
Bathe.
And play other games. I shower.
Yeah.
I let the skin on my fingers heal because I started losing skin on that finger from
Yeah.
all the WoW playing, right?
You,
And my wrist is only slightly sore most of the time now instead of always being sore. The eyes.
WoW was so of its time and so influential of other games. It's kind of like Minecraft, where you go, Minecraft came along, changed games, and had so many spin-offs, but I don't think we'll necessarily see another MMO come into that space and be anything like that.
It is a pillar of
It is.
gaming
It is.
in this century of golden games.
Yes. Very weirdly put. All right, let us know in the comments if you played WoW, if you still play WoW, if you are thinking about going back to WoW when Legion comes out, or if you play other MMOs and if they have scratched any of the same kind of itches for you, and if you think games in the future will be like this, if we're gonna see another WoW at any point in our lives. Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, please suggest a talk-through topic for tomorrow. And while you're on the internet, please check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at Good Game TV. Follow Pocket at Nickboy, at Pierreth, at GG, at Monkey, and at Sam Gee. He's at Budger Pants and has not stopped performing, even though traditionally all of that would have been overlay. And he's gonna keep going, so that's great. And
Of its
finally,
time.
of its time.
Of its time.
I'm glad we waited for that. There are links to everything I just said in the description below. Today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by Fluorine Indium Nitrogen. If you've made a thing, please send it in. Until tomorrow, Nick Boy out.
It was of its time! Budger out.
Just can't turn it.
You all knew it was gonna happen. You all knew, you all saw it coming. Do it again. Everybody gets one.
All right. Well, that's a lie. Are you really happy with us putting that to air?
You are? Yeah. Why?